Hi, I'm Shawn Casemore. Thanks again for joining me on another one of my empowerment series videos. In this one, I want to talk or speak to kind of the opposite of my last video. My last video, I talked about how to deal with duds. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you do, because the number one complaint I hear is that people say, look, yeah, Shawn, this is great building a team, but I still have one or two people that are a challenge to deal with. Make sure you check out my video on how to kind of rejuvenate or recuperate that dud, that person who's a challenge in your team. Now that said, the next question, kind of at the extreme end of things, is how do we get people to achieve peak performance? How do we get people to push themselves? Well, step one is this: your people, and more specifically you as a leader or the leaders that report to you or work for you, need to understand that every single person is an individual. Everybody's different. Therefore, it goes without saying that the level of performance that everybody can achieve is different. That's why in your team you've got some go-getters that go after it. You don't need to say a word to them. They're just chasing things down every day. And then you may have people that are doing the opposite. They seem to be sitting at their desk, not contributing so much. And you got a lot of people in between. Everybody's an individual. Now, if you understand that, then you understand that to set peak performance, I have to do that on an individual basis. It doesn't go without saying, I want to set team goals. I want the team to work together. But in being a mentor to the group, I need to consider that everybody's an individual. Therefore, the level of performance I'm going to get from everybody will be somewhat individualized. So I want to walk you through 5 steps that you can use in order to set your people up individually in order to achieve peak performance. Okay, this goes without saying. We still want them to work in a team and be collaborative, but there are some things individuals need to do on their own, and we want them to be naturally pushing themselves to do more and be more. So step one, you and the individual need to really understand that they are an individual. You can do this through different exercises. You can use assessments such as the Kolbe assessment, DISC assessment, Myers-Briggs. I don't really care. Those assessments are really meant to achieve one thing: bring self-awareness. And by bringing self-awareness, they allow people to see through and of themselves what their strengths, weaknesses really are. So that's step one. Bring some awareness to the individuality for the individual, as well as for the mentor or the leader dealing with them. Step two, assess capacity and capability. Take a look at what this person's doing in a day and ask them the question: do you think you could do more? Do you think you could better manage your time? Do you think you could be more productive? Now, some people are going to say, oh, I could be more productive. I could get more done. I've just got these issues here. Okay, let's talk about how we better manage your time or deal with those issues. Other people are going to say, can't get anything done. I'm swamped, Shawn. There's nothing else I can do here. Okay, fair enough. Let's take a look more specifically. Let's dig deeper into what you are spending much of your time on. Notice what I'm suggesting is to look at capacity and capability. You need to do it again on an individual basis, and you need to do it with the individual involved. The capability piece is more looking at what they've done in the past or currently that they feel they're strong at, what they'd like to spend time on or learn to do in the future. What we want to do is build a plan with them around their capability. So this second point kind of has 2 subsets to it. It's a dialogue around their capacity, what they have time available to achieve, and secondly around their capability. What are they strong at today? Where are they weak? How can we improve that? And then what new skills or challenges would they like to take on? With this in place, we've now got a real clear picture, and we've included the individual in understanding where they're at today and what's possible in the future. Step 3 is really to assess and have a dialogue with the individual again to look at what's a challenge for this individual. Now that I know where they'd like to go with their capability, and I know what their capacity is, and we've had that discussion, what's a challenge for them? What would be a challenge? Would it be running a meeting? Would it be creating a presentation? Would it be doing something directly for the CEO? Would it be moving them into a new role? It can be anything at all. But we've now had enough time to have a dialogue around and create some context around this that we can really discuss what a challenge might be for them. Once you've agreed on that challenge, which might be quite simple to start or might be more complex, you want to create a plan. And notice you're documenting this information as you go and creating this individual peak performance plan for your people. That's the 3P, all right? Peak performance for your people. So you've created this plan. We now know what a challenge is. Now we set the stage. We calendarize how to measure their ability to pursue this challenge. So somebody says, for example, I'd really like to take on more responsibility. Great. What does that look like for you? Well, I'd like to attend meetings. I think I could step into some of my managers' meetings and really do a great job, and I'd learn more in the case. Great. How long do you think it would take to really get that down and create that comfort level? Well, it'd take me about 3 months. Okay, so for the next 3 months, let's create a plan for you to attend those meetings, or at least some of them. And then let's identify in this plan, how we're going to measure success. All right? So notice now we're calendarizing the plan, we're bringing it to life, and we're setting some measures so that we both agree to be able to check in and see how are they doing against that plan. The final step, the last key piece to this, okay, is really to take a look at, now we've set measures, we've got the plan, it's that monitoring, it's the follow-up, it's the place where a lot of things fall behind, right? We create a plan, and then as a leader, as a mentor, we don't necessarily set aside the time ourselves to sit with this individual and have a dialogue about how they're doing. That's the key to making all this work, because even if they're not doing well in pursuing this challenge, or even if we're not doing well in trying to eliminate some of these tasks that they're working on that they find a challenge, right? You can be at any level of this program. What we really want to do is, by having that dialogue, we're constantly suggesting we're interested in their progress. We're interested in how they're doing. And that sets the stage for an employee who's much more engaged and excited about taking on new opportunities. So here's what I'd suggest you do. Take a look at a couple of your people, 1 or 2, just to start, and try working through these 5 steps. Play the video back, work with the individual, set up a plan to look at their capacity versus their capability, create plans to overcome and better manage their time through that dialogue, set some challenges. From the challenges, calendarize those challenges, create a plan and some measures around them, and then you as the leader, make sure you set some time, agree with the individual, when are we going to follow up? Weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, which is too far out, by the way. So you can help your people achieve peak performance. But once again, like many other areas we've discussed, people are individual. Therefore, peak performance becomes a very individual thing. And we can't necessarily measure everybody equally. We always want to be fair and consistent. But people as individuals have to be treated somewhat individually. I'm Shawn Casemore. Thanks for joining me again on this one of our empowerment series videos. Feel free to reach out, connect anytime, or for more resources, you'll find lots of information below. Connect with me on social media. Take a look at my blog where there's lots more videos like this and other topics to improve team performance. Or reach out directly if you've got a topic you'd like to discuss, or you're having a challenge with implementing the program we just went through. I appreciate you joining me. Have a fantastic week, and we'll talk to you again soon.